Collin Rountree on your left, John Phillip Whetstone on your right. It's Humans versus Burn, and we'll be underway here in just a moment. Ancient Ziggurat, Noble Hierarch. That's where we'll start, as Rountree is on 6 cards. Whetstone will play Inspiring Vantage, Goblin Guide, Trigger, take a look. Noble Hierarch still on top of the deck. Rountree will fall down to 18.
I think this is another matchup that's quite close, and a lot of it depends on the particulars of the Burn build. I like 0 copies of Skullcrack quite a bit. Is there no in the 75?
You tell me. Looks like the answer.
Wow, good for him.
Yeah. Phantasmal Image, Noble Hierarch, pass the turn back to Whetstone. Phantasmal Image copying Goblin Guy, looking to do a little bit of trading here as Rountree. I'm not a Skullcrack guy.
I'm not.
Just stinky, stinky card. Bloodstained Mire into Grim Lavamancer, and Whetstone will simply pass the turn back. So we'll head back over to Collin.
Lavamancer, a well-known problem for Humans decks.
Not their favorite card to play against.
Especially on this setup here, with just nothing but small stuff.
Human, likely to be the name there on the unclaimed territory. Now here's Kitesail Freebooter. The hand, I see 2 bolts and a Lightning Helix. It looks like maybe 2 lands there, at least a Stomping Ground.
Well, it's a Stomping Ground, and I cannot tell if the card second from the left is a Boros Charm or a land.
We'll find out soon.
Yep. But this is a really good setup. You would like a bit more food for Lavamancer, Bloodstained Mire, Wooded Foothills type of cards, but this is... I got that eye.
Yeah, Beat Charm.
I got that eye.
I hope so. You cast so many of the darn things. Whetstone's going to sacrifice a Bloodstained Mire here. Get himself a basic mountain.
I am just really into no Skullcracks. You are living in a fantasy land. If you're like, my Jeskai opponent is going to tap out for Lightning Helix, and then I'm going to do this, and then that will cause me to win the game. That is fiction.
I will ask that in our next Fact or Fiction.
Yeah, is Skullcrack good against Lightning Helix? Fiction.
Fiction.
Oddly enough, fiction.
Yeah.
You wouldn't think that, but it is.
That is another copy of Inspiring Vantage.
And one of the common ways for Burn to have bad draws, set aside the no creatures and you're all on lava spikes and too many lands start the hands, it's drawing too many 2-mana cards. So Shard Volley is confusing in that you can't really cast it for 1 early on in the game. So it does jam you up a little bit in the same way that the 2-mana spells do. But in terms of finishing out the game in one shot, like how well do you untap and kill you before you kill me, Shard Volley definitely assists there. And now it's totally sweet because of the Lavamancer. Mm-hmm. That combo is about to pop off here. Whetstone can find one of those. That's 2 cards.
Here's Beat Charm. Rountree going to fall down to 8, and he doesn't have much going on. Again, that Phantasmal Image is a Goblin Guy. There are 2 Noble Hierarchs out there, but Collin does have quite a few cards now, but he's not doing anything with them right now. I suppose he could have Restoration Angel at this stage, which he does have 2 main deck copies of.
Yeah, but Whetstone here is showing a commitment to... I mean, he had a Bolt the previous turn, and there were a ton of juicy targets, and he went exactly at Rountree when Rountree was at 18. He's just trying to spike him out of the game.
Mm-hmm.
And I like that because trying to engage in combat with humans is really bad. And if you're whittling down the creatures, you have to be either protecting yourself or freeing up attacks. Humans doesn't interact with you just casting spells at them. So the more of that you can do, the better off you are.
Rountree is going to play a Thalia, Guardian of Thraben. Pretty late to the party, I'd say. Let's see what we got here. Another Boros Charm, maybe? Maybe a Lightning Helix instead. Rountree is going to fall down to 7. See if Thalia resolves yet. The answer is no. Put you down to 4. I think Lava Mancha will be able to clean things up here in just a moment.
Yeah, with 3 cards in the graveyard, you can attack with the guide and force a chump block, or if it swallows up, that's card number 4. Basically, any card in the deck finished off the game at this point, even a fetch land. So I think we'll be going to game 2 momentarily with Whetstone up the first.
That's what it's looking like. Draw just did not come together well for Rountree here at all. But these things do happen. He's on a mulligan of 6. Rountree, I think, is trying to figure out if he's going to play another spell here. He's going to play a freebooter. There's Shard of the combo. Good old Shard volley. Surprised he didn't fire that.
Yeah, I would have preferred to cast
Thalia.
I would have preferred to cast that in response to the Thalia.
Yeah. Well, I guess he just gets it back.
Yeah, that doesn't matter.
Sure.
2 cards for the Lava Mancer.
Draw, Shard volley you, lose a land to do so, put you to 1, and then Lava Mancer you to finish the game off. So, John Phillip Whetstone's going to win again, everyone here over Collin Rountree. Burn up a game here over Humans. These players, of course, have 15 cards in their sideboard. We'll be taking a look at all 30 after a quick 2-minute break. We are back. Senator Phil is Patrick Sullivan here in Minneapolis for the SCG Tour at SCG Tour, hashtag SCGMINN for your tweets all weekend long. As we're watching round number 13 of action here between Collin Rountree and John Phillip Whetstone, Humans v. Burn. We will start with Rountree as he's down a game. Hater in the house here with 2 Auriok champions, 2 Direfleet Daredevils, 2 Gut Shots, 2 Static Casters, 2 Kataki War's Wage, 2 Reclamation Sage, 2 Sin Collector, and a solo Dismember.
So there's 6 easy ones here. The Auriok champions are obviously great, and the Direfleet Daredevils and the Sin Collectors play well against a deck with so many spells. I think you also, at this point, enough burn decks have Ensnaring Bridge in the sideboard that you probably want to bring in 2 copies of Reclamation Sage to hedge there.
Other side of things here for John Phillip Whetstone, he has 3 Destructive Revelry, 3 Ensnaring Bridge, 3 Exquisite Firecraft, 3 Path Exile, 2 Dragon's Claw, and an additional copy of Lightning Helix.
The 3 copies of Path, the 3 Ensnaring Bridges, and I would bring in the extra Lightning Helix.
So those are the options there for both players. Rountree will be on the play here for game number 2, see if he can find a better hand this go-around. Green light given. Cavernous Souls naming Human, Ether Vial. Let's keep this party rolling. For Whetstone, he will play a Scalding Tarn, fall down to 19. And we'll get a basic mountain. There's a Grim Lavamancer. Tough card for humans to beat, as you saw in game number 1. Whetstone could have been mowing down Noble Hierarchs, freebooters, and other things, but he decided to mow down Rountree's life total, and that's part of what makes Lavamancer so powerful.
Super flexible. Humans get to the spots where they can't play the spells in their hand because they all die, and then the Lavamancer is just going at the face instead.
Rountree will put that vial up to 1. He'll play an unclaimed territory. We'll see what he's naming with that one, as he simply passes the turn back. Humans, the name again. Sometimes you'll see Illusion, or in very weird instances, Angel. He does have some different creature types after sideboard with Auriok Champion and Reclamation Sage potentially, as here comes Goblin Guy. There will be a trigger. Take a look. It's an Ancient Ziggurat. That'll be headed to Collin Rountree's hand. Looks like he'll be losing 2. You see the Bloodstained Mire at the ready. That's card number 2 for Grim Lavamancer activation number 1. Whetstone thinking about using that fetch land. And he will, as he falls down to at least 18, potentially 16.
Really important thing that comes up frequently in this kind of matchup. If your opponent has an Aether Vial, it's important not to get too fancy with your fetch lands. When it's possible the stack can get built up, there can be considerations around Searing Blaze where you want to keep one available, but you want to make sure that you have your mana available when your opponent starts activating Aether Vial, rather than get into spots where they're responding and doing things, and Thalia's lieutenanting and pump their things outside of range in response to your Bloodstained Mire activation.
Vial going to head on up to 2. There's the Ancient Ziggurat. This is a Champion of the Parish. Rountree's going to follow up here with potentially a Mantis Rider. There's actually going to be a copy of Sin Collector trigger on the stack. Rountree, I believe, does have a copy of Thalia's Lieutenant in hand right now, so Sin Collector will be on the stack. Trigger for Champion of the Parish, not on the stack just yet.
And you have to be fairly confident here that your opponent does have a Thalia's Lieutenant, because there's no real reason to expose the Champion of the Parish otherwise.
Here comes your Lieutenant.
Yeah, I think the writing's on the wall that this is what's happening here.
Sin Collector will then enter the battlefield, which will get a counter onto Champion of the Parish and Lieutenant as well.
I would have preferred just Lightning Bolt on the Champion of Parish.
Yeah.
Because like I said, I think there's no way that Rountree's putting the champion out there unless he has a way to overpower the Lavamancer activation.
So Lightning Bolt is going to bite the dust. It is exiled via the Sin Collector. It looks like Rountree may have missed the counter from the Sin Collector, actually.
Yeah. Although, is that the case? I mean, can you, once you are essentially announcing the trigger by...
So what ended up with the sequence that turn was Sin Collector gets placed on the stack.
Oh, sure. Okay.
That's why the Thalia's Lieutenant has a counter on it. Sin Collector gets placed on the stack. A response, John Phillip went to Lavamancer, the champion, Violin, Thalia's Lieutenant, 2 counters, go on the champion, 1 from Lieutenant's trigger, 1 from champion's trigger. Makes it a 3-3. Sin Collector resolves. Thalia's Lieutenant is a 2-2 now.
Sure.
And the Sin Collector's trigger resolves, so he missed the counter from the Sin Collector entering the battlefield on the champion.
Okay, I thought you were speaking into the other way around. Okay, gotcha.
Here's Boros Charm. In response to Kitesail Freebooter, it appears. And you see a hand there of Monastery Swiftspear on a land. So Freebooter won't take anything, but Lieutenant and Champion of the Parish will grow. And it's this kind of battlefield that Burn actually does a poor job of managing. You see Lieutenant here is going to grow these creatures even more. And I don't want to say we're going to head to Game 3, but we're going to head to Game 3.
Well, I mean, Whetstone's still drawing to Ensnaring Bridge.
That's true.
He's still got a big draw.
That's true.
I'm surprised to see this many creatures in his deck post-board, especially on the draw. I think humans just doesn't interact with spells very well. They interact with creatures extremely well. The ones that had to attack and block, Lavamancer is a separate case. But
I will give you that. I did forget about Ensnaring Bridge, so I don't want to call this one over just yet. I would say he needs to draw it this turn.
Yes. He's not even drawing to a Searing effect anymore. And Rountree's at 14, so it really has to be Ensnaring Bridge.
Another Swift Spear here. And pass the turn back. Rountree cannot untap fast enough. As he's got his Vial on 3. Looks like he's checking over his sideboard here very quickly. As he will now draw a card. 2 mana. Freebooter. A lot of triggers. 2 Lieutenant's Champion and the Freebooter trigger itself. That'll be a total of 4. Response: Whetstone will sacrifice that Bloodstained Mire. And this will be a Searing Blaze. And take care of Lieutenant here. Rountree will take 3, fall down to 11. Counters there on Lieutenant and Champion of the Parish. Knuckleheads will be going sideways in a moment.
Yep. This might allow Whetstone to squeeze out one more draw step. I think he's got to just double chump.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yep, he's got a double chump block, it looks like.
No, I mean, he can just shoot down the Sin Collector, right? Does he have to, if he shoots down the Sin Collector, does he have to chump?
That's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. No, he wouldn't have to, actually.
Yeah, I prefer no chumping, because if your draw step, if the only card you're drawing to is Ensnaring Bridge anyway, if you draw it, it's important to have the Lavamancer because you need to win the game as fast as possible.
Yeah, you want a way to finish things off.
Right.
Yeah, for
so,
sure.
And it doesn't matter if you go down to 2 or whatever, like, you know, but didn't draw Ensnaring Bridge anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Collin Rountree going to win game number 2 here over John Phillip Whetstone. Humans and Burn going to get ready here for game number 3. We will prepare ourselves as well. You get ready too. Back in a bit. We are back, but Collin is not. Cedric Phillips and Patrick Sullivan here in the booth. Collin Rountree, John Phillip Whetstone getting ready for their 3rd and final game here between Humans and Burn. For Whetstone, he'll be on the play here for game 3. Rountree able to power out a pretty powerful draw there in game number 2 with a lot of aggressive creatures, though a bit of a mishap there with the Grim Lavamancer activation as opposed to casting a Lightning Bolt of the Champion of the Parish there, Patrick.
Yeah, I get it. You're in the spot where it's like, well, if they have Thalia's Lieutenant, it's really bad, but maybe they don't. And you got to assess what the odds are. But because Rountree, I think, is not committing the champion unless Thalia's Lieutenant is available through the Aether Vial, I think you just have to bolt it down if that's the line you're going to take. Alternatively, you let it resolve and try to Lava Spike him out of the game. That's fine too. But I think Rountree was pretty clearly trying to bait that activation there from Whetstone, and Whetstone obliged, and that the game went off the rails there instantaneously.
Well, there's going to be a magical pre-release coming up very soon here, folks, and we want you to find the one closest to you. Part of our StarCityGames.com creature collection, there are exclusive playmats available at participating stores for your next Magic the Gathering pre-release. This one, named Rough Luck. You get it?
Well, I get that it's rough and it's they're dogs. The luck part, maybe more confusing to me. But still an adorable image, even if I don't get the joke.
Go. That's StarCityGames.com/pre-release to find a pre-release close to you. July 7th and the 8th. Register today, and the first handful of players there will get one of these beautiful playmats. Again, rough luck.
That is something that's happened to me, by the way, as I've aged.
What's that?
I get fewer jokes. I need more jokes explained to me.
You just need to keep up with what's going on with the kids nowadays, man.
No,
No, you don't.
No.
Okay.
Nope.
Things are not lit for you?
They are definitely not that.
Okay. Hot fire, whatever else kids say now. I don't even know.
Yeah, I mean, you're not acquitting yourself very well in this conversation either. In spite of your engagement with social media.
I sit on Twitter all day.
Your Instagram account, very good for your mental health, I'm sure.
Yes.
I don't know if that language is really the modern vernacular.
It's unclear. It's unclear at this stage. I use some of it, not all of it. So I think most of it is stupid. But
yeah, who's old now? You sound pretty old.
I have gray hair in my beard. I'm wearing a pair of glasses because I can't see anything anymore. And you know what I can't wait to do after the show's over?
Go to bed.
Yes.
I cannot wait to go to bed.
Can't wait to go to bed. After the Cavs game, which I'll be screaming like a maniac, I'm going to go to bed and then wake up at 5 o'clock and catch my flight home and get home and go back to bed. Riftbolt probably going to kill Champion of the Parish. We'll see.
Nope.
Nope.
If you're keeping a hand like this and you're going turn 1 Riftbolt and you don't have a creature, what you're doing is trying to do 20 through Lava Spikes. That's the goal here. You can't go turn 1 Riftbolt, kill your thing, second land, go, and then they play another card. It's like, okay. That don't work.
Swifty. Spike ya.
Oh,
you're digging this.
There we go.
Yeah, you're digging this. This is your wheelhouse right here.
That's my slang.
Yep. I can't keep up with all these kids nowadays. 32 isn't even old. But it feels old. Here's a free Buddha. Trigger. Here's a hand. Okay.
Yeah, it's all spikes.
Okay.
That's not, if this is the hand that you have and the Swiss Spear had to be the draw on the first turn that he had a draw step because he would have just played that on 1. You are not killing creatures with this hand. And you have a Lightning Helix as a little bit of cushion too.
Boros Charm, Lightning Helix, Lightning Bolt.
This is a hard hand for humans to beat. You got to have a lot of Sync Collectors and Freebooters to hang with this.
Yep.
Because what's going to happen here, most likely, is that Freebooter is going to die. You take the Bolt or the Helix, and it's one way or the other. Your Champion of the Parish can't block next turn through a Prowess trigger, so you're either chumping or going to 10, and then the Boros Charm is still there. So if you can't follow this up with, at the minimum, Thalia, Guardian of Thraben, but really it's got to be Sync Collectors, Oriarch Champions, other Freebooters. Rountree is going to be very hard-pressed to win this game.
Back over to John Phillip Whetstone we go. It looks like he picked up another copy of Boros Charm.
And I like taking the Helix for a couple of reasons. One, don't keep them off casting that card as long as you possibly can. That's part of it. And the other is the best thing that Rountree can do is clog up Whetstone's hands with as many 2s as possible.
Here is Boros Charm.
That's why Whetstone here is not killing the Freebooter, because he's just got to get the 2 out of his hand. So if he draws a land, he can just play a 1 and a 2 in the same turn.
Yeah, if he does draw a land, Bolt plus a 2 wins the game.
Right.
And I believe, as I mentioned previously, Whetstone drew a Boros Charm last turn. This is the Kitesail Freebooter. That's timely. Yep, there's another Boros Charm. Looks like he might be taking Lightning Bolt. Get in for 1. Champion of the Parish hanging out on defense. Not where it likes to be, but that's where it needs to be right now.
And now you have the hope that Whetstone here just floods out. Or draws creatures.
Draws creatures, yep.
Yeah. I mean, Rountree's obviously in trouble. Not a favorite to win this game, but he sculpted a line that I like.
Another Freebooter. Boros Charm going to go upstairs. And Sacred Foundry was the land.
And Whetstone wants to hold that back, so if he draws Searing Blaze, he can enable it with landfall for the kill. The problem here now is, Rountree is dead to the deck. There's not a lot of misses from here.
Yeah, there really are not. That's the tough spot here for John. For Collin. That's game. Bullshit real good. John Phillip Whetstone going to win this matchup over Collin Rountree. 2-1. Burn will take care of humans. It's a difficult matchup there for humans at times, and you saw that on display.